Welcome back for another playoff edition of Have a Shift Day Stanley Cup Final Edition. We are 3 games into the final, and already this series has been quite an entertaining one in a variety of ways.
And I have
to say the
breaking
least.
news off the dome.
Really?
Vasily Ponomarev is going to the KHL.
Yeah, I knew that on Friday.
He has signed a 3-year deal.
Well, I think the 3-year deal is new, but I knew he wasn't coming back next year. I knew he was going to the KHL, so.
Well, that's one of our good young players gone.
Well, okay, that was not as breaking as I thought it was.
We got Dan Muse.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Penguins hired
all three of the Pittsburgh head coaches are all bald.
Dan? Got a problem with that?
Dan, and both Dans.
Dan Muse.
Yeah, we have
When he
Dan
gets introduced, I want to see. I want the whole
God,
stadium to go
God.
Muse.
I thought it was Muse. Never mind.
Is it
I don't know
Muse?
how to say it.
It's
I don't
Muse?
know.
We have
I don't
Dan,
know.
Don, and Mike.
Is it?
We'll
How do you pronounce his last
Muse.
name?
Muse.
I don't. Muse?
Muse.
Okay, so I was
Muse.
right.
Yeah, Muse.
Muse.
It's not Moose.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was. I don't know.
Moose?
That was like Moose.
I wish it was that. Would have been cooler.
That would have been cool, but it's
His
okay.
name
It's not like it's a
was
terrible
spelled
name.
Moose in that case.
Yeah. All right, we are on a time crunch today, so we need to stay dialed in.
Yes,
We're going to
on a
get to
time
Dan
crunch.
Muse later, but we, of course, have to discuss the Stanley Cup Final first. We've got Edmonton and Florida, as we all know. After 3 games, Florida leads the series 2-1. We had some OT barn burners in Edmonton in games 1 and 2, and then a blowout in game 3. So, I mean, we can briefly,
That one.
oh yeah, we can briefly go over those 2 overtime games if we want. I think just the big thing in both of those is that Edmonton just would not go away. Florida had the lead going to the third for both those games, but Edmonton ties it up early in game 1, or in third period of game 1. They win in overtime, and then in game 2, they tie it late. No surprise there. Corey Perry right in front of the net, and then double OT Brad Marchand on another breakaway. He scored on 2 breakaways that game. Oh no, Nick is in shambles.
I don't like him.
Your daddy.
No.
You can't escape him.
But Brad Marchand for this Panthers team has been an absolute perfect fit for them, really.
Second round pick.
It was already like,
It was a
perfect
third-round
because.
pick.
Was it a third?
I thought it was
Is
a
it? Didn't
third.
Wait, didn't it change if he played 50% of the playoffs, which obviously
Oh yeah,
he's
so
played.
it's not. So yeah, it will be a second-round pick. And
That's crazy. That might be. I mean, since Dallas fell off a cliff, I think that was probably the best trade of the trade deadline. But like I said, Marchand has been an absolute perfect fit.
Trading Bunting and getting Novak was the best trade.
Tommy Novak, he's gonna be good for us next.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's
pump the brakes on the best trade.
Trust me, Tommy Novak.
I mean, right now, okay?
No,
we're
Tommy
not
Novak
talking
is
about
going to
next year.
We're talking.
Oh my goodness.
Tommy Novak's gonna put up 30 goals, 70 point season. You watch. He's the next Tate Getzel.
Okay. But going to an actual win at the trade deadline, again, since we're getting off the rails, we need to be dialed. Brad Marchand.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What have you... How about you guys give me your perspective?
Can shut out a team in whatever tournament. I think Novak could be
If the Swiss plumber can shut out Tage Thompson in USA and there's a bum tournament, then Tommy Novak can be a superstar of the Penguins.
How about you guys give me your take on Brad Marchand since, I said we have to be dialed, but you guys clearly are not being dialed,
Oh,
and
we're
You know who
someone
dying.
is?
else needs
You
to
know who is
talk.
dialed? Brad Marchand's pretty dialed right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Tell me about Brad Marchand, Jake.
I mean, he's like the Panthers are getting the production out of him, but not only he's a rat out there, and he's making it hard for the Oilers. I mean, he's been a two-way player, and just you need guys like that in the playoffs. And the Panthers have many of them, and they have a surplus of them, and they just get Marchand. He's probably the king of that of that type of groove, and he's just been a stud. I mean, he's scoring big time goals on top of that.
Nick.
He's a bum.
Oh my goodness.
He's a good bum though.
You would need to just accept the fact that he owns your Leafs, okay?
Why do we have to face him every year?
'Cause he goes in your
Uh,
division every year.
You
yeah.
you couldn't have traded him to Vegas or LA or Edmonton. You had to trade him to
Nope.
Florida.
Nope. Had to make it fun and interesting and annoying. Um, for you at least. I'm getting quite entertained
No, of course
by the
you are.
series. I'm also cheering
Okay,
for
the
Florida,
series
but
itself though has been great hockey. Games one
yeah, it
and two,
has.
games 1 and 2 are literally the pinnacle of NHL hockey. Um,
Bro,
that was
Marchand has 4 goals,
In in the
in the
final,
in the
yeah.
final. Like,
anyway. Game 3 got a little off the rails. Didn't watch it. I was too busy at my job. Um,
damn, brother.
eh.
I was too busy watching Donnie Ball, man.
Yeah, okay, a little off subject. The Pittsburgh Pirates are so bad.
Raise
We're,
it,
we're
raise it.
planning the
Yeah,
parade
I
out.
saw they swept the Phillies, and what wasn't it like
4 game
10-something
win
last
They
night?
won
streak.
10-4. They've won the last 4 games. They scored 10 runs last night. The Donnie
Wow.
Ball is
Donnie Ball, man.
Bucktober is back. Leaving the game yesterday, the vibes were immaculate. Oh my gosh.
You said they played the Mariners?
Marlins.
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 But they
Okay.
swept Philly.
Close
We
enough.
still own them. Um, Also, Philly fans are so. Oh my gosh. They're mean. They're literally mean.
Nick, they were like, "Oh, let's go Birds!" I'm like, it's a baseball game. The
Dude,
Eagles
I
aren't
had
playing.
old people swearing at me and I had people
You're the security guy, or were you
yeah,
just
they're
watching?
doing my
Oh, okay.
job. They were swearing at me. They were cussing me
That's
out.
that's mean.
Oh, it's Philly. It doesn't surprise me. And then they were
No, yeah.
annoyingly chanting. I heard that Eagles chant 5 times.
I know. I know.
So in return, because they were all chilling out, right? In front of the stadium and on the North Shore. So leaving work, I turned my volume of my radio all the way up, put down all my windows, and just blasted a Renegade on a repeat, leaving the ballpark.
Oh my gosh. Um,
This.
they deserve it. Getting back to something else that was nasty was that game last night. Um, Panthers came out strong. Your bestie Brad Marchand got that goal early into the game. And Carter Verhaeghe, he's been getting going lately, capitalizes on the power play. Then in the second, Corey Perry again from in front of the net. And the Panthers need to learn how to cover him in front of the net, but also, they have to watch out for Draisaitl and McDavid too. So not exactly easy to cover all three. Um, they need to figure it out though. And then it was just disaster from there.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Oilers, you see the top guys here, they're producing. Bouchard's got 5 points, McDavid 5, Draisaitl 4, Corey Perry's
Yeah.
been a stud all playoffs. He has 3.
Hmm.
But after that, I mean, it kind of drops off. There's really no production outside of those guys, and you need
Yeah.
your best players to be your best players. I think they have. I mean, they single-handedly won them game 1, but outside of that, it hasn't been that much exciting besides
Yeah.
the top dogs.
I mean, to add to
It,
that too is like they've had the opportunities too, like the other players. They just haven't capitalized. Like my mind instantly goes to Kasperi Kapanen in game, well, I think one
Yeah,
and two.
he had the breakaway.
Yeah, and he
yeah.
didn't capitalize. Like they're having the opportunity. It's not just Kapanen too. There's a few players I could
Yeah,
name,
I
but
mean, it's not game 42 of the regular season where you say,
no,
"Oh, the depth, it's getting good chances," but they're not like it's do or
yeah,
die right now.
yeah,
You gotta make it happen.
exactly. Like there's, what do I want to say? There's no reason. Is that the word I'm looking for? There's
No
no,
excuses.
yes, there's no excuses of why you shouldn't be burying your chances in this stage. Like their depth was a big part of why they've won so far in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say that. Like they've
Yeah,
got to this point because their depth has produced,
yeah,
and
and this
they didn't
is
have that at the end of the year, and then
yeah,
suddenly it woke up. But now it's where did it go?
I think the
yeah,
problem is like Florida's bottom six is just like so physical. I don't think the Oilers' bottom six has seen any
yeah,
lineup like this.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Another thing I want to add, going back to our Tommy Novak discussion here,
Oh dear.
the Florida Panthers. I don't know what it is, but when you look at like some of the players on their teams, like two big that come to mind are Carter Verhege and Gustav Forsling. Gustav Forsling was a waiver claim. He was a
They're
nobody.
fines, yeah.
I had no
This,
idea about that. That's crazy.
yeah,
Cause
Carter Verhege,
he's been he's been great this series.
he was
Yeah.
like a nobody too. Like they joined the Panthers and they just become studs. They just become
Hmm.
superstars. Like I don't know what they do down in Florida to unlock like the true potential of all these like nobodies or guys who were nobody. But because like I remember Gustav Forsling. This is like I'm a big NHL nerd. You two know that, but for our audience, they might not know. I remember back when Gustav Forsling was like a 75 overall, 70 in the NHL games. Like he was a nobody, and then he's now like an 87 top 40. Like
I think another thing to add on to that, like they have Bobrovsky making 10 plus million, but
yeah,
other than that, I mean, their guys are taking pay cuts. Like Reinhardt
yeah,
he could have easily made 13 million this summer, and he takes
yeah.
8.625.
And even
Like
like Reinhardt, right? I mean, he was good with Buffalo, but he wasn't where he is now.
he wasn't a 40 goal player. I
Yeah, and
mean,
then
No.
they acquire him, and he just becomes a superstar. Like,
Well,
what?
I think
going
Kachuk
I mean,
elevates his game.
Kachuk
Yeah,
was getting to superstar level with the Flames, but he just,
that last
it's
year he
been
had like
elevated
100
since he's
points.
been with
Yeah,
Florida,
yeah,
yeah.
and I think right now he might be a little hurt because he hasn't been like, contributing off very significantly
hmm,
offensively. He's still been a key piece in this
yeah,
lineup, but
exactly. Like,
he's not on the score sheet as much. Going
And that's the
off
thing.
of that,
If you can't contribute offensively, at least be hard to play against.
yeah, and
Like,
it's not like that's the only thing he can do. He's the type of
yeah,
player that will get in your face, get under your skin, cause chaos in front of the net,
yeah.
and he can still make the
versatile.
plays. Yeah. Um, Going off the conversation of like getting paid in contracts, someone that's going to get paid is Sam Bennett, who has been an absolute beast for the Panthers in this series. A lot of people are now saying that he's the front runner for Conn Smythe if Florida wins this series. He is leading the playoffs in goals. He's got 14 goals in 20 games so far through the playoffs. He's got, I wait, let me double check. He's got four so far
Guys, I
through
gotta
three
take a phone
games.
call.
Okay. Jake and I will just keep talking about Sam Bennett, um, and his impact on the series so far, other than uh, interfering with Skinner a couple times.
I mean, like at least he's like controlling his boundaries. Like, he's making that his territory, and he's making the goalie uncomfortable, which I think that could be a factor in a 7 game series if your goalie is not comfortable around the circle. I mean, you have a pest like Bennett around the net. I mean, I'd be a little scared if I was a goalie.
Yeah, and I think that's something that every team needs. I mean, I keep bringing up the Penguins when we're talking about the final, but
Yeah,
I'm
Patrick
biased.
Lundqvist.
This is,
Yeah,
yeah, Patrick Hornquist. This is a Penguins podcast, and even Jake Gensel goes to the net all the time. Like he has an elite shot. He's a sniper for sure, but also like he gets in the dirty areas in front of the net, especially on the power play. Create that screen, be there for a rebound. And Bennett has been there as well. I mean, that's not how all his goals have come. He had that beautiful breakaway last night. But also, before that, he was, being the player that he is, the physical, tenacious player, he had like two clean hits, and then that eventually opened it up for him to go on that breakaway and score.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Nick.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was my work calling.
Okay, that's fine. Now that you're back, why don't you give us your thoughts on Sam Bennett?
Another bum, but like he's not as a bum as Marshawn.
You would die to have a guy like
give
that.
it a little bit unbiased here. Just a tad. Try.
The Florida Panthers, like, if the Penguins were in the Atlantic Division, I would so dislike. What? What?
Said you can't call everyone a bum on the Panthers.
The Panthers are literally full of just rats who are bums.
I mean, yeah, you already had Kachuk and Bennett who are rats, and then they got Marchand, so they're like, okay, might as well just make the rat their only mascot rather than having a rat and a panther.
That fancy glass.
You know, the rats. There aren't just rats.
Normal
I mean, the rats that
and I need
score.
water today, guys. Exactly.
I mean, Sam Bennett's he's gonna make so much money. You know what's funny? I'm gonna call him a bum, but then
he might not even make that much money. There's no tax in Florida. If he wants to re-sign,
he might.
Yeah,
I think tax. The Panthers really need to make a push to re-sign him.
If not,
they might be like, "Hey, can you take a pay cut?"
I know where he's gonna go if he doesn't re-sign.
He's gonna go to the Leafs. That would be so funny, though.
The Leafs aren't gonna sign. They're not gonna sign Marner, and they're gonna bring in Bennett.
If the Leafs replace Marner with Sam Bennett.
Oh, do you think that city will go up in flames, Nick?
You know what? The Leafs fans are so in shambles right now that I don't even know I don't even know what to do. Like, they're just, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I was asking my brothers because they're like bigger Leafs fans than I am. My one brother was like, I just want everyone gone. I want Matthews traded. I want Marner gone. I will keep Nylander and Knies, but everyone else can leave.
That's what you say at the end of a series or a season when you're really mad. You just need to take it.
Isn't this just
down?
Huh?
Isn't this the Stanley Cup final episode? Like, why are we
yeah,
talking
it
about
is.
the Leafs?
Because Sam Bennett, who's playing in the finals, is possibly going to go to the Leafs if he doesn't re-sign with.
All right. Free agency is another episode in like a month or so.
That's the Leafs Stanley Cup final.
Oh my
God. Okay. Well, Nick might need to take a chill pill. The Oilers needed a chill pill last night. I guess they forgot to pack those when they went down to Florida. At the end of the second period,
pack their sticks, scoring one goal. Jeez.
Yeah, only Corey Perry brought his. At the end of the second period, and basically for the entirety of the third, they just absolutely lost it. I think they realized that the game was going to be out of hand, like on the scoreboard. So they're like, "All right, let's just create chaos." But
that's more of a win for the Panthers. Like they want the Oilers to get riled up. That's not their game.
Yeah.
Like the Panthers love that.
Exactly, and I think Edmonton's. I think it's good to have a response. Like, trying to collect my words here. I'm sorry. I think it's good that they had that sort of response to just not sit back for the rest of the game and be like, oh, okay, we're going to lose. Like, actually show that they still have fight in them. But I think they should have, maybe done that just at the beginning of the third and then just kind of let it go. Because, we had that whole line brawl about 10 minutes into the third period. And then basically every whistle, it was like the Oilers are trying to kill the Panthers. I'm like, okay, guys, you need to chill, you need to relax. You need to
Yeah.
not keep giving this to the Panthers because they're going to see that you're all riled up and all angry, and they're going to take this and be like, oh, okay, we've got them pissed off right now, so this should be an
It's a
advantage.
waste
Now,
of
I'm not,
energy.
yeah. And like, it's not like they were
Just
getting under the Panthers' skin. I think Matthew Tkachuk was actually laughing when someone tried to punch him in the face. Um, so they,
yeah, because I remember
it's a good,
the Penguins used to. Sorry, go ahead.
okay, it's a good response to have to show that aggression, but you need to tone it back sometimes. It was entertaining for us, but in terms of the Oilers and their play, like that's not how you that's not the team they are. We think we've said that already. That's not how they play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I don't know. I was just gonna say, I remember when the Penguins made these runs with like Crosby, Malkin, like their game was never these fights, and it would, and we like to play fast back in the day, and I thought it was just a waste of energy to get in those scrums. I mean, because that's not our game. It's not the Oilers' game. Like, I
No,
don't
they
think
like
you,
to play fast
if you're the
too.
Oilers, you don't want to get caught up in that. Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that. But I mean, I can see why they're frustrated. They're getting killed on the road. Like, not just a human instinct, just to fight back. So I'm not going to blame them, be mad at them for that.
Yeah.
It's just a team that's angry and frustrated.
I mean, they have some guys who can play that style, though. You got Perry, Evander Kane, Trent Frederick. There's, like, the big boys. They can play that physical game to match up with um, the Panthers. But, like you said, though, most of that roster is built on, like, speed. Kind of like how the Penguins are. And skill. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Depth and skill. That's big skill, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Oilers will
It's,
no
I mean,
doubt have a response after this game.
yeah.
Well, they
Just
better.
Just, I think the
well,
goal for
yeah,
the Oilers coming to Florida was take a split. You go back 2-2, you go back to Edmonton, you win that game, you're up 3-2. Like,
that's always got to be
completely
the
different
goal when you're the
series.
road
If you
team
just
because
split, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
just
it's
split. I mean, the Oilers are going to be in big trouble if they lose game 4, though.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
You have to take
I
one
mean
of
they
these.
they will be going back to Rogers, which huge advantage for them if they do lose both these games and they can still push the series to 6. But
Rogers what?
they place.
Correct.
Yeah. I was struggling last week, Jake, because there are 3 different sports venues with Rogers. Um, but like I said, Oilers no doubt will have a response. And we've seen it from them before after the first 2 games against LA and then game 1 against Dallas, getting pummeled in those. And then they just flip the script and pummel the other team. I think this is going to be a little bit more of a fight than, say, going up against Dallas, whose depth and basically everyone just didn't show up. And then LA, who that was kind of a self-inflicted wound of that coach's challenge, and then everything just went downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
And part of this response is going to have to be from Stuart Skinner. I know people are probably like, "Oh, are they going to start Pickard now instead?" I don't think they are. I think they're going to keep Skinner in net. I don't think a lot of those goals were his fault. But at that point, the game's out of hand. You don't want him to get hurt. You don't want Bennett to accidentally run into him. Um, so I think
I mean, that's a tough spot to put
accidentally,
Pickard in
accidentally.
on the road in a game.
Yeah, I don't think they should put Pickard in. If
Yeah.
maybe if Skinner has another, if the next game the Oilers lose and a lot of the goals could have been stopped by Skinner, then I think Pickard starts game 5. But I think just for now, for game 4, Skinner, it's his net still. You don't want to just be like, oh, we lost the game, even though it wasn't your fault. You're not playing. Like he's had that confidence for the past 2 series. Keep him in net and tell your defense to do their jobs.
Agreed.
It's a tough job.
Wait, Lane Hudson won the Calder?
Yeah, we said that at the beginning of
Yeah.
this.
Oh, I didn't know that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I said when I was like, Jake, your hot take was fully accurate.
I didn't remember
Thank you.
what his hot take was, but wow, congrats. Wait, did I read that? Macklin finished third?
Whoa, really?
Dustin Wolf
Honestly, this
finished second?
honestly this was a tight Calder race because I think
Wow.
like okay, Blaine
Do you know
Hudson
the
probably
votes?
won
How
it by a
close it
mile, but
was?
like the other two,
Let me look.
yeah, pull it up.
Dude,
And
that's
then
shocking.
we'll wrap this up with the final here after you pull that up. Um, so while Nick's getting that, Jake, how specifically do you think the Oilers need to respond in Game 4, and what do the Panthers need to do in order to push back against that response and not let the Oilers get any momentum?
Good question. I think the Oilers have to score first. They have to get a hot start. I think
Oh
the
my
first goal is
gosh.
going to be a big factor in Game 4.
It wasn't even close. Lane Hudson got
Tell us the votes, Nick.
160.
You want
Lane
to
Hudson
laugh?
got 165
Yeah.
first place votes.
Wow.
Dustin Wolf got 15 first place votes. Celebrini got 11 first place votes.
Okay, that was closer, but yeah, I mean,
Mitch
when
Cobb
you're
got
Lane Hudson.
forgot
151
about
Whatever that
Mitch.
means.
votes.
How many did he get?
151 fourth place votes.
No, Mitchkov. Sorry.
Yeah. For fourth place, he got
Oh,
151
for
votes.
fourth place. Oh, how many did he get for first?
Nick, where
Any?
was
0.
McGorty on that list?
Lucky McGorty is not on this list.
Why would he be on that list?
It's a good
Maybe next
rookie.
year, guys. I think he'll still be considered a rookie next year because he didn't play a lot. So
He should be. He should be.
yeah. Um,
But
but
back to your
yeah,
question.
yeah.
I was just saying. I think the Oilers they have to score first. Maybe draw a penalty early. Get that power play on the ice. Just slow down the game. Relax the nerves because I mean this is a big stage for them. If they lose this game, it's probably wraps. Because I don't think the Panthers are going to let them hang around this year like they did last year. They know how to finish a series. I mean, they've won like what 11 straight series, something like that, or 8 or
Well,
7, something like that. 7,
it'll be
right?
8, 7,
They
7.
yeah, okay. Yes, I mean they know how to close out. They know how to close out a team on the road, at home, and then for the Panthers to take the commanding 3-1 lead, just continue to get in the Oilers' heads. I mean, they're they're living rent free in their heads right now. I think. Um,
Yeah.
and continue to play physical and continue to shut them down and the goals will come for Florida. I don't think they have to force it because I think they have a far better goalie, so just get pucks on that and see what happens.
All right, Nick, your thoughts on what needs to be done in Game 4 on both sides, and make it quick because we got to get to our damn Muse conversation because Jake's got to get out of here soon.
Florida, I mean, just keep playing your game. Play how you did in Game 3. It clearly worked, whatever they did. And
Whatever he did.
just keep playing your game. And hey, I didn't watch it. I was watching Donnie Ball. Um,
Me
but
too, bro.
I know. But yeah, just keep playing your game. And yeah, for Edmonton, get back to what you're good at. Don't let the Panthers rile you up. And yeah, your depth and your everyone just needs to show up, play a full 60, and yeah.
All right. Well, moving on
I mean, there's
now.
not a perfect
Oh,
answer to that question.
No, there's not.
I'll just
no,
say
I
there's
mean,
not a
I think
perfect answer. I mean,
this series has kind of been, well, we knew it was going to be tighter, but yeah, I don't really know what I'm trying to say. My brain's not really working today.
it could go either way. I mean, the Oilers
It
if
could go either way.
they win
It could
that,
go either way.
yeah.
let's move on now to Dan Muse, the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Of course, they have to announce that right after we released a podcast episode, so we couldn't have a discussion about it. Not Mitch Love, which is okay. Not DJ Smith, which is very okay. But I don't think this was pretty unexpected because I had never heard of him before.
What's so funny down there, bud?
I don't know. I feel like Jake's always one of
When he said, when she said DJ Smith, you just go like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dan Muse's name was just one that kind of came out of the blue. I was not expecting it at all. But looking into him a little bit more,
it's a Dubas hire.
It
It's
is
such
a
a
Dubas
Dubas
hire.
hire.
It's a D1 Dubas hire.
I think I like it though.
Oh, I do too. We got the bald-headed
Yeah, I think it's
trio.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, that's not why. This is his first head coaching job, which, I mean, let's not freak out about that because every NHL coach has had their first head coaching job before. Okay, so hiring a first-time
freaking
coach
out.
is not okay. Some people, I think I saw someone post like this guy's never coached in the like been a head
And?
coach. I'm just like,
He has
yeah,
coached
that's
in
what I'm
the
like.
NHL.
And
That's,
he's
yeah.
been in the NHL. He hasn't been a head coach, but
Yeah.
that doesn't merit. That doesn't
Yeah,
discredit his
That's
experience
fine.
anymore.
that's fine.
Well,
I'm just-
welcome, brother.
I'm just saying based on something I saw someone post. I'm just like, okay, that does not matter. Chill. But he was previously with the Predators and the Rangers as an assistant coach, most recently the Rangers. So basically we kind of did like a coaching trade with the Rangers, but he ran Nashville's penalty kill unit, which ranked 4th overall during his time there in 2017 and 2019. He also ran the Rangers penalty kill, and it was the 4th highest PK. Hang on. Helping the Rangers penalty kill to the 4th highest PK success rate and 2nd best net penalty killing percentage in that span. So that was 2023 to 2025. And he has had a lot of experience coaching younger talent. He's won championships at several levels, including NCAA, USHL, IIHF, U18, and U20. He also coached the national team development program. He actually previously coached Rutger McGroarty, so he has experience with someone from our team, which I think will be really good, especially with us hoping to better McGroarty's development. And I think overall, my overall takeaway from this is that he has coached at the younger level, and we are a team that needs to get younger. And I think we are hopefully going to be bringing in some younger talent now that we've got Dan Muse as our head coach, and he can help those players to develop. Maybe it'll translate to a playoff spot wild card. Maybe it won't, but I think that hopefully our goal right now should be developing our talent so that maybe in the next 2 years at least we could sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah, another thing about Dan Muse.
Yeah, I think the only thing we were missing was a top 5 penalty kill. That was the only thing we were missing.
I thought I said that.
We're gonna make the playoffs.
No, but
No,
another
I'm
thing
saying
about
like
Dan
that was the
Muse-
only thing to think.
Okay.
Another
No,
thing
I'm saying
about
that's what the Penguins need.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
another thing about Dan Muse, he also makes the team earn their locker room privileges. I don't know if you saw that story, but Will Smith's mom said that when Dan Muse was coaching her son on the development team, they weren't allowed to use the locker room. They had to change in the hallway until they won a game. They had to
Oh my
earn their
gosh.
locker room
Yeah.
privileges.
I don't think you should do that with Sid or
That's
Gino. But
crazy.
No,
Yeah,
bro,
no,
he's-
don't do that here. But clearly he's not going to be a pushover in any way, which, not saying we haven't had coaches that aren't pushovers, but,
that's a good point,
or
Nick.
that are pushovers.
Like, just bring a new voice
Yeah.
for the Penguins. Like, guys are gonna have to prove themselves at training
Yeah.
camp. It's not just gonna be, oh, you're a fit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at training camp, there's gonna be a lot of open roster spots, and
Exactly.
they're gonna have to earn their spots. And Dan Muse, he doesn't know how our guys are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what he's working with until he gets to training camp. And he's going to see, what we got. And I think even if you don't make the team, it's going to be a good organizational thing for development
I
and
agree.
just
He's getting to
overall
play.
performance.
We're still getting back into
Yeah,
the playoffs.
I think it's a good hire. Yeah,
I agree.
because
I think he
I
really
mean,
is.
you always see these. Yeah, I mean, you always see these like guys that are just kind of go around the league. I mean, but this guy's new, and I
Yeah.
think just taking a chance on that, like, why not?
Yeah, I like that
Yep.
we kind of broke out of the coaching carousel. Um,
Good.
just because, you got these big name coaches that they have had success, but then they get fired, and you're just like, oh, maybe they just needed a new voice, blah, blah, blah. And we could even, like, say Pete DeBoer as an example. I had that in the notes too. He got fired. Um,
Bye bye.
but, yeah. But,
I have
yeah,
one more. I have one more.
breaking out of that mold and bringing a new voice, not necessarily completely new to the league because he's been an assistant coach with a couple different teams, but just a new head voice, I guess. That didn't really
Yeah,
make sense.
and we
You
still have
go ahead.
Dan Quinn, right?
No, he left. He went to the
No,
Rangers.
you went to the Rangers.
Yeah, yeah. I figured that. I mean, Dan Quinn's was I think a success because our power play was like top 10, like pretty much
Yeah, our power
throughout the
play
whole
had a
season.
huge improvement. So
Yeah,
hopefully, I
I don't
mean,
like
I
to
don't
say
know.
it. Go ahead.
but like with an aging team, you need your power play to be very good
Yeah.
because
Yeah, so hopefully maybe uh, either we promote someone to run that within, or Dan Muse knows someone who is very successful at running a power play, and we could make our power play even better. What were you gonna
That would
say,
be
Nick?
nice. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
I think you were like about to say, I hate to say it, but
Oh, the Rangers are gonna be so good next year.
yeah,
ugh,
They're gonna be
they will
bad.
be good.
I hate our division. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. I just don't like the teams in it because
Also,
they're in our division.
also, we're talking about Donnie Ball. You guys ready for Danny Puck?
Danny Puck. I'm ready for Danny Puck. I'm ready. Jake, I know you have to get going. But if you have any other final thoughts on Dan Muse, or if you want to give us any thoughts on the Pete DeBoer firing before you have to get out of here, please,
Okay,
please do.
I'll start with DeBoer. I think they obviously extended Ottinger. That's your franchise goalie. I don't think that was the right way to go about business in a press conference, especially after your
No,
team was
I would do a downfall.
heartbreaking. That's one you just that's a one-on-one player exit meetings conversation. That's not a conversation that needs to be in front of the media. I think that was just unprofessional, and I just think the frustration from DeBoer just got the best of him in that situation. It ended up probably costing him his job. Final thing with the Penguins coaching hire is, I mean, we can't expect results right away. This is the type of hire where I think you're going to need at least 3 years to see how you can judge him as a coach because this is a developmental hire. This isn't a win now hire by any means. So we can't expect, oh, if we don't make the playoffs, well, this is on the coach. No, it's a lot deeper than that. I mean,
It's a
this is
lot deeper than that. Yeah.
Yeah, we
yeah,
can't
yeah,
always look to the coach. If we're losing a couple games early in the season, let's not freak out, everybody. We just hired the guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Relax. So, all
All right.
right, Jake, thank
Thank
you for
you.
making this work. I know this was a little trickier today, but having
I
having at
agree.
Yeah.
least three
I'll leave
for a
at
little bit
2.
works.
All right. I'll keep you updated, Nick.
Where do you want me to pick you up at?
Whatever's convenient for you, by Point Park.
I will pick you up in Village Park.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. I'll see you guys. Have a good rest
See
of
you
your
later.
day.
See
I'll
ya.
see you
Thank you,
soon, Nick.
Jake. Have a safe
See
flight.
ya. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
And then the
Um,
listener.
there's just us. Um, we'll finish this off not right now. There's a couple other things. I want to get your thoughts on the Pete DeBoer firing because I know last week we had talked about it with Ryan, both with in regards to DeBoer and Rod Brindamore, and I think both of you were kind of in agreement that like they shouldn't, neither of them should be fired. And obviously, DeBoer did get fired. Don't think anything's going to happen with Brindamore, so we're not going to touch on that. But what are your thoughts now that he has been relieved of his duties? General manager kind of gave his thoughts, and also, as you mentioned, like the big thing was throwing Ottinger under the bus, essentially.
Yeah, I think that was gonna happen. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh yeah, he's gone. Um, that's just dumb. You don't say that in a press conference about your star goalie, and it was evident that after he said that, the stars just weren't happy about it, like the players in the organization. So you knew either Andre was leaving or DeBoer was leaving, and at the time, it didn't seem like DeBoer was gonna be the one leaving. But I have a feeling that Ottinger said to the GM, to Jim Neal, it's either me or him. So then he was like, all right, well, I want to keep Ottinger, so we got to get rid of DeBoer.
Yeah, you got to keep the guy who's playing, okay, who is a star goalie. Maybe didn't play well in that series. I'm not throwing Ottinger under the bus here. It's just a lot of Stars players were not at their best in that series. So,
Yeah.
but Ottinger is still a fairly young goaltender. I wouldn't say like, just blossoming in the league. He's mid 20s. But he could still, tweak his game, develop even more.
Yeah.
Not saying that he isn't fully developed. He's probably going to be on the Olympic team next year. So
Probably he will.
if you've got a coach that doesn't believe in your franchise goalie, then you need someone else. You need a different voice. And clearly, having the same voice in that locker room for the past 3 years and losing in the conference finals all of those years and losing to the same team back-to-back years was not helping. So I think it is the right move. I think I was in that mindset last week that at least the Stars should fire DeBoer. You want someone that is going to support your players publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe say something a little bit more critical to you privately. But that's the coach-player relationship. You don't want to have a public feud. You want to deal with your problems internally. Because, we saw what happened with Vancouver, where we don't know exactly what the drama was with Pettersson and Miller. But at least knowing about it and having the GM confirm it, I think probably made things worse. So
definitely.
You need to keep those things a little bit more internally, and not doing that doesn't help. So, yeah, you need someone who's going to publicly support you.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I think it's the right move. It'll be interesting to see who they hire. I can't really think of anyone else in the coaching carousel, kind of. Oh, yeah. I don't think that would be the greatest idea. It's really a shame that, not that I think he would have gone to Dallas, but I think it's Denver's head coach in NCAA. No,
in
NCAA. NCAA, not NHL. I think it's Denver. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure it's Denver. He was like, I think a lot of teams were contacting him. I think mostly like there was a chance he was going to go to the Ducks because, they're a young team. He's been dealing with college players. Yes, him. But he signed a contract with Denver, so it's a shame for some teams that he's not an available option. But it'll be interesting to see where the Stars go from here, and also to see what they do with their roster if they try and keep almost everyone because. Like we said, on paper, they have some of the best depth in the league, but clearly did not execute in the conference finals.
Yeah.
All right. I will briefly go over this because you don't know much about it. The expansion draft happened for the PWHL. I'm trying to pull up the list.
The Professional Women's Hockey League.
Yes. So there were not as many big names taken in the expansion draft itself. The more significant moves were made during the exclusive signing window that happened. So, oh my gosh, can I get an actual list, please?
Didn't two big names go to Vancouver?
So Hillary Knight signed with Seattle.
She went to Seattle. And then Sarah
Yeah,
Nurse went to Vancouver, right?
correct. I'm trying to, because like I said, there were not a lot of significant names taken in the expansion draft itself. The Minnesota Frost lost 2 forwards in the draft. Brooke McHugh, I could be saying that wrong. I'm not very good with these names right now. And where is her? Denisa Krozova. Both of them got drafted by Vancouver. And then, was it Vancouver? Was it Seattle? I think Vancouver also, yes. Vancouver signed 2 of Minnesota's defensemen. Those were their significant losses. Sophie Jakes and Claire Thompson. Yeah. And then Vancouver also, in the signing window, got Calgary's other goalie. What is her name again? Here we go. Emerance Matchmeyer. That was Ottawa's other goalie besides Gwyneth Phillips. Obviously, I said last week they protected Phillips, so it was a good goalie tandem there, but good news. The Frost didn't lose either of their goalies. That could have been bad. Yippee! And then some other names I can bring up because I have to click on 5 different tabs to find all this information.
Do they have team names yet or no?
No. All right, so it is just me now. Nick is having technical difficulties down over at his house. His power and his internet apparently went out. So just so we don't have a complete, utter, random ending to the podcast, I'm just going to finish it up here. We didn't have a lot to discuss, really. Just answering Nick's question that he had before power went out. No, I don't believe that Vancouver and Seattle will have team names this year in the PWHL. I think because it's a quick turnaround with this expansion. There's not a lot of time to get the branding figured out. Like we saw with Utah this past season and the NHL, they were just the Utah Hockey Club. That was a really quick turnaround with the move. And the trademark war, not really a war, it was a battle to get a team name even figured out. They didn't even have it figured out back in February. So it's going to take time. All the original 6 PWHL teams went through a whole season with not having team names, so not a huge deal. I think the cities are just excited and happy to have a team to cheer for. So once their team name does eventually come, it'll be exciting and, super fun to have a team name. Yeah. So the only other thing that we had on our game notes was that a couple NHL awards did get handed out over the past week. We mentioned that Lane Hudson won the Calder Rookie of the Year. That got announced today. And then other trophies that got announced, Alexander Barkov, he won 2 trophies. He won the King Clancy and the Selke Trophy. King Clancy, I believe, is for community and leadership related reasons. Let me just double check that because I don't fully remember, because I know that there's the Marc Messier Leadership Award that is handed out for leadership. Okay, the King Clancy Memorial Trophy is presented annually to the player who best embodies leadership qualities on and off the ice and makes a noteworthy humanitarian contribution to their community. I think the Marc Messier Leadership Award is more so going towards captains. So congratulations to Alexander Barkov on winning both the King Clancy and the Frank J. Selke Trophy, which we know that one is for Best Defensive Forward. And then we've got the Ted Lindsay Award, MVP voted by the players, was awarded to, excuse me, Nikita Kucherov. Kucherov, he led, I really should have had these stats right next to me. He had, it's not coming up, sorry. Kucherov scored 121 points this season. He had 84 assists and 37 goals in 78 games for the Lightning this year, so congratulations to him as well. Then Sean Monahan won the Masterton Trophy for sportsmanship, dedication to the game, and a really special moment. That was, the trophy was brought to him and presented to him by Meredith Gaudreau. Monahan was close friends with Johnny, so really special moment there. And then the Jack Adams Award, Coach of the Year, went to Spencer Carberry of the Washington Capitals. No surprise there, considering their turnaround from last season to this season. So, yeah, and the rest of the awards are supposed to be announced. There might be another one announced tomorrow. I have no idea, but the remainder of them should be announced Thursday before Game 4 between Florida and Edmonton. So we will know the remainder of the winners in the next couple of days. So that is all that I have, because I'm the only one left here. Thank you for bearing with us with kind of an oddly structured episode with 3 hosts and 2, and then this one, just me. That kind of was just very random. So make sure that you are subscribed to Have a Shift Day on YouTube and Spotify. Thank you for tuning in today. I can't really guarantee when our next episode will be, just because we will be back after the final has concluded. So next time we have a podcast episode, we will have the Stanley Cup awarded, either a new champion this year or a repeating champion. It'll be exciting to see how this final finishes off. But make sure you are following us on social media at @haveashift_a on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X, just so you can stay up to date when that next episode is going to come out and when we might have new episodes throughout the summer. Hoping to try and get some guests on during the summer. That'd be really fun. And certainly talk about free agency when that happens. And just to let you know when our final playoff episode is going to come out, because again, we don't know when the series is going to end. Hopefully not in 7, because as you know, I have something I'm doing that night. So yeah, don't forget to follow us, and make sure you like this episode too, if you enjoyed it. And thank you again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.